Hello and good evening from Benilde-St. Margaret's. Bruce Open along with Tom Whitlock, and tonight it's the St. Louis Park Orioles taking on the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights. And for the St. Louis Park Orioles, they come into this game at 7-6. St. Margaret Red Knights at 5-9. And for St. Louis Park, they're on a 4-game win streak, beating Egan in their last game 80-54. Before that, Richfield 97-79. Jefferson 50-49 and a 105-83 win against Chanhassen. For the Red Knights, they've sort of gone win-loss in their last 4 games. Losing to Chaska 69-57 in their last game. They beat Kennedy 61-49, lost 88-72 to Cooper, and beat Waconia 55-51. So that's last 4 games played by those teams. Starting lineups in this game for the St. Louis Park Orioles will be Keyshawn Howard, the 5'8" senior, averaging 10 points per game. Cole Ewald, a 5'11" junior, averaging 6 points per game. Jacob Houts, a 6'1" senior, averaging 11 points per game. Anthony Odens, 6'3" senior, averaging about 8 points per game. And Anthony Rayson, averaging 14.4 points per game. For the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights, there'll be Derek Standifer, 5'7" sophomore, averaging 6.5 points per game. Nels Birkland, a 6'3" junior, averaging 3.3. Dylan Dries, the leading scorer for Benilde, 6'9" senior, 15.4. Number 30, Zach Carden, averaging 9.1. He's a 6-foot junior. And Nick Peterson, a 6'3" junior, averaging 9.4. Getting ready to jump it. Tip controlled by the Orioles. Keyshawn Johnson in the backcourt.
It's going to be interesting to see how St. Louis Park comes out tonight, missing Paris Johnson, their leading scorer, with a turned ankle.
And he turned that ankle in the Richfield game, and there's Keyshawn Howard hitting the 3 for the Orioles.
Keyshawn's been a real bright spot for St. Louis Park. I mean, he is so quick, but he's a really smart player and really a great assist guy. Sets a lot of other guys up for shots.
And there's the leading scorer right back at him with a 3-pointer for the Red Knights, Dylan Dries. Nice pass inside, Anthony Rayson with the basket. So
I think that's the other intriguing matchup tonight is Anthony Rayson and Dylan Dries, both I think high scores for both of their teams. So it'll be interesting to see that matchup with the big men.
Tom, usually when you play a Benilde-St. Margaret's team, you're playing a team that's really good defensively. You know, coached very well. John Moore, the coach of Benilde, has been there forever. And for St. Louis Park, Dave Breitenbucher is the head coach.
I think the Red Knights really are disciplined. They move the ball around well and wait for good shots.
First miss of the game, Standifer. Orioles in the front court, Keyshawn Howard. Rayson back up top. Ewald penetrates in, they work it around. House out for Howard. Momentarily looks like there's a shoot. Now takes it to the basket. Sort of dipsy doodle move that went go. Rayson with a putback. And now the ball came back out to Odens. Rayson cross court. Keyshawn. Orioles moving the ball well. Rayson over Dries. A little too hard on that one, and Dries with the rebound. Red Knights trailing 5-3 with the basketball. And the shot good by Nick Peterson. Nice drive to the basket by Howard.
That was a nice, you know, he's just kind of shifty that way where he can get up and underneath. I went to the Richfield game, and Keyshawn just does such a nice job of finishing at the hoop.
He just looks like his confidence has gotten so much better as the season's gone on, too. Not afraid to take it to the basket.
Yeah, he talks a lot out on the court, too. Just watching him play against Richfield, you can see he's talking to all the guys, so a good leader.
Nice move that time by Carden.
Yeah, that was good defense by Ewald, but equally good shot.
Rayson Gets to the basket on Dries, couldn't get it to go. Ball tipped out. Orioles will
Nice job by
maintain
Odens
possession.
to tip that out.
Oh, so you can see what a 6'10" guy does in the middle of the floor under the basket. There's another drive.
That was a nice, that's how you beat the big man with the floater and release that ball before you get right into him.
So Ewald, who had 12 points his last game, gets 2 here early. Oh, good drive and a foul. Basket's going to count. Peterson, a junior. We see a replay on this.
Yeah, I think he got him there.
Right. He called the foul on Houts, not Odens. So. The score. Cross-court pass.
I think that's going to be important if the Red Knights are pressing, that St. Louis Park try to beat those presses and turn them into 3-on-2s and try to get some easy baskets off of it.
There's an open 3. Ewald shot misses, and the rebound was taken out by Standifer. Red Knights look to push every time down the floor. You see him driving inside of the basket. Nice dish off, out for a 3. Shot off the mark. Rebound by Dries. Had a tip by Rayson,
nice
and
block
Rayson
by
comes
Rayson.
away with the ball. Orioles push it on the other end. Houts misses the shot, comes out to Rayson.
A good strong move by Houts.
Odens for the 3, he misses. Rebound pulled down by Carden. Red Knights take it up in the front court, leading 11-9. Orioles in a man-to-man zone right now.
They're doing a nice job of keeping people in front of them.
But that guy's just so tall, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's tough to, I think that's a shot that they'll give up.
So Dries was 6 points in the game. Biggest lead for the Red Knights at 5. A little bit of a weave by the Orioles.
St. Louis Park continues to be patient.
Left-hander didn't go. Nice rebound by Odens. Shot was blocked.
Boy, Odens is doing a nice job of getting those extra rebounds. I think he's done that twice now.
Odens lost the ball that time, 2-on-1. Carden and the foul on Ewald. Yeah, Ewald got the ball, but he also had his left hand on Carden, so. And I think Coach Breitenbuch are asking for an explanation on that.
Yeah, I think, well, I think he wanted the foul on the other side when Odens went to the hoop and he didn't get it. And thought if they get it on one end, we should get it on the other.
First missed free throw of the game.
The pace has been pretty good. I see a lot of kids out there breathing heavy. They're pushing the ball back and forth pretty well.
Missing a couple shots. I think a little intimidating with Dries inside there right now early on.
Yeah, it's tough to get all the way to the hoop against a player like that.
You see a lot of floaters that they're putting up right now.
Right.
There's a travel or a foul.
Another offensive rebound by Odens. But yeah, I think you see St. Louis Park going right into Dries, and you're not going to shoot a high percentage if you keep going right into him. So I think if they continue to look for those floaters or pull up jump shots and get him out away from the basket, I think that'll improve their chances. But I think they're moving the ball really well.
Odens, he can't get the shot to go.
No, that was a good shot, though. It was a nice pull-up.
Stolen ball, 2-on-1 break, and Keyshawn takes it all the way in. For the Red Knights into the game now, number 42, Walker Johnson. Good pass inside. That basket was Isaiah Smith, his first 2 points of the game, and we get a timeout called by the St. Louis Park Orioles.
Yeah, it's a, you know, when Racing goes out of the game, it's a little smaller lineup for St. Louis Park, and I think Benilde's taken advantage of that.
St. Louis Park has missed a lot of shots. They've had a lot of opportunities, and it's not really turning the ball over, just not getting their shots to fall. Yeah. And a lot of those are contested shots. So you have to figure out how to move the ball and find that open spot and be able to get the shot.
And I think I saw Keyshawn do it once, but when they dribble and draw the defense in at the hoop, there's open guys on the wings, and I think, you know, it'd be nice to see them get Houts involved, although he's not in right now, but have that drive and kick back out to the edge. Now the Red Knights are in a zone defense now, so they're switching it up a little bit.
Grayson, Ewald, Howard, nice pass inside. That shot would not go. Back out.
There it is.
Ewald, yeah. And he hits the three.
That's the kicking it out from underneath, and you get open shots like that. And Ewald can knock those down. I think that's 2 for him now.
The St. Louis Park's ball. Aaron Ellingson is in the game now also for the St. Louis Park Orioles, number 20.
Now they're back into a man-to-man, so they just switched it up for that one possession.
Shot by Howard doesn't go. Another rebound inside.
They're doing a nice job getting offensive rebounds.
They definitely are outsized, but they're doing a good job really creating some space and getting those rebounds. Quentin Strew, number 12, into the game now for the Red Knights.
And I like that shot that Keyshawn took. It's, again, another pull-up jump shot, and they get wide open looks that way.
Grayson, a little spin hook move.
Nice soft touch by Anthony.
Orioles cut it to 1.
I think he just keeps getting better and better as a player.
He really improved so much towards the end of last season. And then, as you mentioned, this season's completely different.
That's good patience there.
Ewald behind the back, brings it back out. Into the corner, open three is good.
Eric
Peel, yep.
That was a nice, kind of same thing. Just drive, draw the defense, and kick it out. It's pretty simple.
So the Orioles now take a 2-point lead, 19-17. They've scored 7 straight points. Good switch by the Orioles on defense that time, and now getting the basket is Strew. His first 2 points of the game.
It was a good switch, and I think Racing wanted to switch back, and that just created a little opening for that drive. Ewald's showing off his ball handling skills here.
Racing almost traveled with it.
See, that's a tough shot when you're going against Dries.
Inside of Dries, triple teamed, and a nice bank shot by Dries.
Yeah, that was a very nice turnaround.
He's going to be fouled. Isaiah Smith picking up his first foul. Not too many fouls here in the early going. 2 fouls apiece for each team.
Oh, it's been pretty clean. Good rest for Keyshawn coming up here.
Grayson can't get that one to go. Turnarounder.
Good job by Houts staying straight up on that. It was just good offense.
Red Knights back up by 4. Ball batted out of bounds by Isaiah Smith. Orioles will retain possession here. Both teams pretty evenly matched so far in the early going, Tom.
Yeah, they are. It's been back and forth. I think it's sort of as you said at the beginning of the telecast that they're being, both teams are pretty patient. They're going to wait for good shots.
Nice pass. Rayson gets it to go.
Great pass by Ewald to Rayson, and just a nice soft finish there.
Cole's another player we started to see some good things from. He's starting to play with more confidence.
Yeah, he got some time last year, and I think, kind of watching him over the years, he's always had a really good shot. But you can just see his ball handling skills and confidence when he's attacking the basket.
6:50 left to go here in the first half.
It's good defense by Peel there.
Johnson inside, nice cut to the basket.
Oh, just slipped out of his hand.
Stolen back, here's Carden. He doesn't get it to go. Tip up, not good that time by Strew. And the Orioles get the rebound after 3 attempts there by the Red Knights.
Rayson restored order underneath there.
And on threes, nice move by Rayson, but didn't get that one to go.
That was a nice move. He's got such good footwork for a big man. Some really nice pivots to get himself freed up for shots.
The key for the Orioles here is to really keep Rayson out of foul trouble. They don't have, they really don't have a lot of height if Rayson's not in the game. Missing Paris Johnson, that's a big loss for them in this game. And threes, hits another 3 from outside.
Yeah, I think you can see Rayson getting tired a little bit and just a step late stepping out on those threes. So it'll be important for Brighton Puker to find opportunities to give Rayson some rest.
This is a Benilde team that had Battle as in the early years. If they had Battle right now, it'd be a totally different team for the Red Knights. There's a 3.
Third 3 for Ewald. A nice play by Houts to bounce pass it out for a wide open look.
Good rebound.
These kids like to shoot the 3.
They do. Ellingson got the rebound that time for the Orioles. Back to a 2-point game. Orioles chance to tie or take the lead here on this possession. Oh, Rayson and Travel. Both, Dries has done a good job not to pick up any fouls, and Orioles
he hasn't had much. Well, he's coming out now to get a little rest, but
get some changes here as we get Keyshawn back in. Adam Bauer comes into the game now for the Orioles too.
All right, we'll see both teams with a little smaller lineup.
Odin's back in.
You can see, you can hear Coach Russell egging these guys on to keep their energy high.
Step out 3, not good, and Keyshawn gets the rebound.
He does a nice job splitting the double team there.
Oh, they're going to get a block. He was coming so hard, I thought maybe we're going to get a charge on that one, but
let's watch it. Oh, yeah, you can see he was kind of stepping into it. That was a good call.
See if they can get Houts some shots. Houts is a good three-point shooter. You were saying you saw the Ridgefield game, and Houts was on fire from three-point range.
I mean, it was a pretty simple recipe. Keyshawn, you know, sort of did his thing, and he would drive a lot and kick out, and Houts was just sitting out there at the three-point line. I think he had 7 three-pointers. So if he can find himself open on the outside, he's going to knock those shots down. It would be nice to see if St. Louis Park can find a way to set him up a little bit more.
Spin move by Howard, all the way to the hoop, doesn't go. Another rebound by the Orioles. Here's Houts, the guy we were just talking about, just couldn't get it to go. Look at the rebound by Odens.
Wow, great second effort. Odens and Ellingson both getting offensive rebounds.
Orioles putting pressure in the front court. Peterson stops at the line.
Good recovery by St. Louis Park.
Isaiah Smith out. Here's a three, put up, not good.
Great box out by Houts there.
Orioles Houts into the front court. Brings it back out. We should mention that Dries is out of the game on getting a little bit of rest, but ready to come in now.
I just saw that. They heard you.
Look at the hustle by the Orioles.
Oh,
inside Houts.
Great play by Ellingson.
Deflected.
Just phenomenal hustle.
Bauer tried to get to it, and
they're letting these guys play.
Smith into the front court. Smith, and a charge called on Smith. Bauer getting good position on the defensive end.
I heard Bauer as a kid, he's a great football player, and he didn't play last year, and he came back to play for his senior year. And I think he's given this team a lot of really great minutes.
Yeah, he had a great football season. It was fun to watch. Tied up, 26-26.
You can see these teams just really well coached, and they move the ball really well, and they're patient, waiting for good shots.
Nice pass. Good cut to the basket too that time by Ellingson.
Yeah, I think that's what makes Keyshawn so special. He can maneuver in small places and does a great job of finding open people for wide open shots. 6
players scoring for the Orioles here in the first half so far. Standifer, he's got the ball in the corner. Gets by Houts, and we get a push, I think, on Houts.
I think Brian Bucher's, very happy with how this team's played. I remember talking to him before the season started, and he felt like the team was a lot better than what people thought it was going to be. I think he was very optimistic about this team.
Keyshawn's got a couple rebounds here. That's his second one. Out. Foul from behind.
I think the other thing that I'm really impressed with is St. Louis Park is really active. I mean, there's kids that are, I guess that's all the offensive rebounds that we're seeing. A little on the head there.
It's actually the first free throw attempt of the game for the Orioles. Red Knights break the pressure put on. 29-26. Orioles now with the lead.
We got the big men back in the game.
Peterson. Got Bauer on him. Bauer tips the ball.
Very active hands. You can see he was trying to poke it away multiple times.
Keyshawn, I don't know how he found Odens on that one.
Threaded the needle. Nice finish by Odens there.
Orioles on a bit of a run right now.
Well, let's see if the Red Knights try to get it back to Dries here.
I'd be going for Dries. He's had an amazing first half. Great looking player for the Red Knights. Pass, save.
Oh, nice save.
Hannaford. Keyshawn with his hands. And you see the pressure, and what a game Keyshawn's had on both sides of the floor.
I just like the way he plays. He's just got this kind of humble attitude, but you can tell he's a competitor.
And you see he's not fouling there. You see how he played that one. He got some good minutes from Bauer there as Bauer checks out of the game. Ewald back in for the Orioles. 31-26, under a minute, 35 seconds actually. See if the Orioles hold for one. Odens, Rayson, now House. Back at 20. Ewald pulls it back out. Needs someone to come over for the ball.
Well, yeah.
Keyshawn with 8 seconds.
He's looking to dish to somebody.
Gives it to Rayson, misses a shot. Red Knights and a half-court shot put up. Off the mark that time by Isaiah Smith.
Good half by St. Louis Park, I thought. Both teams. I thought it was nice back and forth. Dries really gave them a lot of nice outside shot baskets when they really needed it. But St. Louis Park, I thought, was just pretty consistent through the whole half.
Agreed. You know, and they did get down by 7 at one time, and we saw Benilde on a big run, but they came back, turned it around. They got on a run, and sort of a game of runs right now, and really no one totally dominating. We see Benilde actually played pretty good first half, and only trails by 5 against the Orioles. So I think it'd be a good second half, Tom.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of the same thing. See how the big men face off against each other, and where I like to see kind of Keyshawn Howard continue to kind of operate that team. He does such a nice job of finding open guys.
All right, so we're at halftime, 31-26. Bruce Homer along with Tom Whitlock. We'll be back with more basketball in just a minute.
Get on top of it before they do. Every 24 minutes, tipped furniture or a falling TV sends an injured child to the emergency room. Preventing tip-over incidents is easy, inexpensive, and only takes 5 minutes. Learn how to secure your furniture and TVs to protect children at anchorit.gov.
31-26 our score. I'm Bruce Homer along with Tom Whitlock as we get ready for the second half. Scoring for the St. Louis Park Orioles in the first half. Ewald with 8, Keyshawn Howard with 7, Anthony Rayson with 6, Odens had 4, Peel with 3, Ellingson with 2, and Jacob Houtz with 1. Leading scorer Dylan Dries for the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights. He has 11. Nick Peterson with 6, Zach Carden 5, Isaiah Smith and Strew both have 2. Inbound by the Red Knights. Tom, we'll see what adjustments they made here coming into the second half. We saw him like with the zone just momentarily, but got out of that against Orioles.
I was just about to say it's going to be interesting to see. I think Dries did a lot of damage in that first half from beyond the three-point arc. So I was interested to see how St. Louis Park was going to defend him here in the second half. So I guess we just saw a little bit of that with Odens getting a block there.
Rayson can't get that floater to go. Peterson, nice pass. And the basket by Carden. 7 points in the game for Carden. Howard. Ewald.
He's feeling it tonight. Oh, nice, very nice steal by Keyshawn.
Yeah, I took it away from Standifer. Coming in on the other end and getting the basket is Houts. First basket of the game for Houts. 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
You can see what a nice job in transition. I mean, Keyshawn got that steal, and the entire team was moving up the court full speed.
Keyshawn comes down the sideline and is fouled by Standifer.
You know, so often you can get caught watching, and it was just nice to see that St. Louis Park team. I think there was at least 4 guys that were running full speed, and they got an easy layup out of it.
Talked to John Moore a little bit before the game on his Red Knights team, and you know, it's funny because John always tells me how great the kids are, and he loves the kids that he coaches. Nice hook shot by Racing.
Well, he's been at it a long time, and he's always had very disciplined teams, a lot of good kids. Yeah, a little bit on the arm there.
Yeah, John Moore does such a great job with his teams, and as you mentioned, very disciplined, always play well. You don't see a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes. The talent level maybe is down a little bit from when you had the Jordan Taylors and Battles of the world, you know, playing here.
Yeah, he's had some really quality players come through his program. I think back to Sean Lumpkin and Zierden, and they had some really quality players.
Keyshawn, cross court, Ewald puts it up and in. He is feeling it.
That's what Keyshawn does. I mean, that's all set up by Keyshawn attacking the basket, and I love that pass. When somebody attacks the basket and they look the opposite side and there's somebody sitting there at the three-point line, it just wide open shots are nice to find. Look at that.
You see how low Ewald had to go, and was a lot of times you want to be getting that ball in position to shoot the three. He came from down low, picked that up and put it in.
Yeah, it's fun to see him so excited.
Charge on the other end.
I think that's the other thing. This team has got a lot of really great shooters between Houts and Ewald.
Spin move by Peterson.
Oh.
Speaking of a spin, that ball just spun around the hoop and wouldn't go in.
Oh, great pass by Houts.
Oh, I found Anthony Racing. The Orioles coming out, fired up here in the second half. And they pulled out a 14-point lead on the Red Knights. So.
Well, that is fun. That was such a great pass by Houts. Just a quick snap throw to Racing.
You see how quick Racing put that. You know, he didn't want to feel the pressure from Dries coming in on him. Here's Ewald. Yeah, right. I mean, that was a great pass right in front of Dries. And I think you know, John Moore's got to be figuring out how can we get Dries more opportunities here, because he hasn't really had any yet here in the second half, and had 11 points in the first half, and most of those were. I don't think he missed many shots, so he just didn't get a lot of shots. And I think when you have a guy the caliber of Dries, you got to get him more shots, more attempts.
Yeah, I'd like to see him run him off some screens or try to get some open looks. He's got such a smooth shot that it's going to be important for if Benilde wants to get back in this game for them to find Dries.
Upcoming game for the St. Louis Park Orioles Friday, January 25th at home. That's against Chaska. That's going to be a really good game. Both teams 3-0 in the conference. They're atop the conference, and so it'd be nice to get a big crowd out at St. Louis Park for that game.
Yes, that's a good rivalry. I mean, this to be standing undefeated in conference, they've put themselves in a great position.
Red Knights at Richfield in their next game. Good defense by Rayson. Back out top. Then we get a travel. Peterson just...
It's tough to go up against a bigger guy like that and try to step through when the defense is collapsing on you.
Here's Rayson. Up top, Odens. Orioles slow it down a little bit here.
Yeah.
Not a good pass that time.
No.
Peterson back. Give and go, and Peterson with the basket. What a great play between Peterson and Noah Allen. And Peterson gets the finish. He has his first 2 points of the game.
I like Peterson's game. He's just a really hard-working kid.
Actually, that's Peterson getting the basket, not Allen. So Peterson now has 9 points.
See Benilde coming out with some pressure.
Stolen away. Orioles looked a little bit complacent the last 2 times down, not really trying to penetrate into the, as they were earlier, and Benilde was able to come back a little bit until that turnover. Looked like maybe the momentum was changing.
Yeah, St. Louis Park had a lot of energy, and since that timeout, you can see
Well, Rayson tried to go right hand, then went left hand, and was underneath the basket too far. Three a little short by Allen. Orioles box out, goes out of bounds, and St. Louis Park will get the basketball.
Yeah, you can. Dries was sort of calling for the ball there. You could tell that he wanted to see a little more ball movement.
They brought Noah Allen in the game. He didn't play the first half because he did play in the JV game. Oh, that's a tough drive.
Well, a great finish by Odens. That was a tough drive. And Odens is just one of those kind of just a great, solid player that does a lot of little things for this team. He's a great baseball player if you follow his baseball. I think he was 9-1 this past summer as a pitcher. Oh, great block by Rayson.
Ewald, and he gets fouled. Good job by Cole to catch up to that one. That was a nice move here as we see Odens. And you can see how he worked his way in between Peterson and Allen.
Well, he took a lot of contact on that too, and he was still able to finish. Ewald's really having a nice game. He's been really active, always prepared to shoot. But even his defense and his, he's not afraid to attack the basket.
So Orioles will give Rayson a little bit of a breather, and Ellingson comes in. Ellingson, the quarterback of the football team.
I think this is important for St. Louis Park, giving Rayson some breathers, with a 15-point lead to give him some rest so he's ready. I don't think Benilde is going to have that same luxury with Dries.
I think without Rayson, let's see if they go to Dries a little bit here.
They've switched Odens onto Dries, so Odens is a little quicker. So it'll be interesting if they try to get Dries inside now. Take
Good
advantage
defense
of the
by
height.
Ellingson. Scrappy defense played by the Orioles right now. Red Knights showing some patience. Johnson around the perimeter, Cardin, and now Dries. See if he pops a three here.
Yeah, they're really.
There's Dries. Steps in, misses the shot, and the rebound.
Odens is very pesky. He's really, I'd like to see them get Dries down low against Odens instead of trying to keep shooting a three.
Ewald with a rare miss in this half.
Oh.
Here's the steal. Here's a pass now to Ewald. Basket and a foul. Good job by Ewald. Got under pretty low under the basket and was still able to work his body magic here. Look at that. See? And the foul on Nate Allen, his second.
You can see Ewald is fired up. Coach Russell was just yelling at him to stay focused on the game. He's really playing well.
Whereas with some subs, Ewald comes out. Should get a round of applause. 19 points in the game for Cole Ewald.
Wow, what a great game. I'd be interested to see what his shooting percentage is.
Right.
He hasn't missed many.
I think he may want to keep this copy of this game. Foul on the Orioles. 50-32, Orioles by 18.
That was a nice job by Carden to kind of go right up into his man to draw that foul. Still, you can still see the height difference between Odens and Dries. And with Racing on the bench, now he's going out. But yeah, you really would have liked to seen Benilde take advantage of that height difference.
Carden likes to take it to the basket. He's been to the free throw line 6 times so far tonight. He's hit 4 of 6. Now a 16-point game. Sandifer against Howard. You see Howard with the pass and a block.
Well, that was a nice block by Walker Johnson.
Johnson takes it along the baseline. Basket, no basket. That's Bauer again in good position. Watch Bauer here now as he steps to the line, stops. Really not much contact there. That's maybe a close call.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice job by Bauer to rotate off of his man and get himself set.
Reverse layup is good by Odin.
Really an unselfish team. I mean, there's been a lot of great assists today by Ewald and Keyshawn.
We haven't even seen Houts with any threes in this game. There's a block by the Orioles.
No, I think Breitenbucher, I mean, I think he obviously felt good about this team at the beginning of the year, but I think he really felt like if he can spend a couple of months with these guys, he's really going to have them in good shape by the end of the year. So they've put themselves in a great position in this conference.
They have an 18-point lead, and St. Louis Park, when you look at their schedule and the games that they've lost, you look at some of the teams that they lost to. Park Center, 85-72. Park Center at that time moved up to eventually to number 1 in the state. They the game that I think Coach Breitenbucher thought they should have played better and beaten would have been Armstrong. That was a game they lost 71-68. They came back in that game. They were down by 7 points in the last minute, 20 seconds. They tied the game at the buzzer, went into overtime. They had a chance to win it in the first overtime, missed the shot at the end, and then lost in the second overtime. So that game could have won. Lost to Minnehaha Academy, a great team.
Yeah.
Apple Valley's won. They could have probably won. Lost to Champlain Park, and then Edina.
They're another top 10 team.
Right.
And I think they have another top 10 team on their schedule as well. Minnehaha, Park Center, Edina. All top 10 teams. So I think these are great experiences for these guys to play against really top quality players. And be in those tough games. I think, you know, even though they may have lost to Armstrong and Apple Valley, they came back against Bloomington Jefferson and won in the last seconds. So I think Keyshawn Howard had 2 free throws with no time left to win that game. So they're learning how to win the tough ones. Although they've had some really big margins of victory in the past.
You talk about a tough stretch, though. Benilde-St. Margaret's had Wayzata, De La Salle, Cretin, Durham Hall, and Holy Angels in a 4-game stretch. So that's a tough stretch too. And I think you know, Coach Moore is saying that you know, I gotta start lightening up my scheduling that I do. So.
Well, it's a fragile thing, I think, trying to build confidence in players and test them without having them kind of getting beaten down from a tough schedule.
Right, and I think last year we saw Hopkins on the Orioles schedule, and you know, that those games are big because when you get to the sections, they're in their section, you know. So
yeah, a little familiarity there I think is good.
Cole missed the shot, got his rebound. That was a tough one by Ellingson.
Yeah. I think Anthony got a piece of that one.
And Ewald is fouled.
I'm kind of interested to see how Ewald, now with Keyshawn Johnson, or I don't know why I keep calling him Johnson, Keyshawn Howard sitting down. This is really Ewald's team to run. So it'll be interesting to see how he kind of manages the game here and make sure this team's getting quality shots.
Well, the Orioles will be in the bonus on the next foul. Still 9:05 to go. Neither team got in the bonus in the first half. Pretty clean first half. Not many fouls, and picking up a little bit here in the second. There's a turnover. And quickly Howard gets up off the bench.
Coach Brighton Bucher doesn't want to take any chances.
No. Well, you see how quick Derek Standifer is too.
Yeah.
And he matches up a little bit better probably with Standifer, and Ewald playing more of like a shooting guard type of position. Drees back in the game for the Red Knights.
You see in this offense for Benilde, Drees is setting a lot of picks for other people. And I don't see too many people setting picks for him.
Keyshawn Howard has at least 4 rebounds in this game. Or Keyshawn Howard has, he is 5'8", smallest player on the court, aside from Derek Standifer, who's 5'7".
Well, that was a nice finish by Smith. He tucked that ball down and then brought it back up to finish and got the contact.
6th foul on the Orioles. Ewald picks up his first foul. Free throw good. It's now a 15-point game. Almost a turnover by the Orioles. Last touch by the Red Knights.
Oden's tying his shoe here.
You know, Phil Frerk used to tell me, go to these coaches clinics, and part of what they taught coaches were how to teach your players to tie their shoelaces. I always thought that was pretty interesting.
Too much Velcro out there.
Right.
Oh, Nice reverse layup
Right.
by Odens. He's had a couple of those today where he's just contorted himself around the hoop to make these kind of reverse layups.
Well, again, a nice pass by Odens there.
Absolutely.
And Dries, is just not wanting, I think, really to pick up any fouls, but I think he needs to get a little more aggressive in there. He's got that height, and he really affected a lot of shots in the first half, especially early on in the game, where the Orioles just struggled with him in that middle defensively. And I think once the Orioles were able to hit some outside shots, and things sort of changed a little bit. So
Yeah, well, and I think a couple of things. I don't know if Dries has any points here in the second half, but he's been in the entire time, and I think that playing time is kind of catching up to him too. Just a little tired, where he's not able to defend everything around the hoop. But they just have not found opportunities for him to shoot in the second half.
Right. You see the Chaska right up there with St. Louis Park, but 9-4 overall, and they're coming to St. Louis Park on Friday again. We urge you to come out and support your St. Louis Park Orioles, and it's a fun venue. The St. Louis Park gymnasium is such a great place because you get right up to the court compared to some of the gymnasiums where you're pretty far back.
Yeah, I mean, it gets loud in that court. I love that court. Probably 6-7 years ago when we played Apple Valley and Tyus Jones, my youngest son was I think 7th or 8th grade, and we came in and the gym was packed, and I saw Tom Izzo. And I was talking to Tom Izzo from Michigan State, and I said, "Oh, you've probably been in a lot of high school gyms." And he said, "I love high school gyms, and I love gyms like this when they're loud and full." So it'd be nice to see a big crowd next Friday.
Yeah,
this Friday.
Tom Izzo story too. At the end of the game, I was with my son, who's just such a big college fan, and I have a client that used to be neighbors with Izzo, and so he always told me stories of him. So I went up to Tom and I said, well, my client is so and so, and he goes, "Oh yeah, he's a great guy, da da da." I go, "Okay, now can I just ask you one favor?" I said, "Can I get a picture of you and my son?" He goes, "Yeah, but I gotta go real quick, so hurry up, take the picture." So I quickly get my camera and I'm trying to find the photo button, and I'm like panicking. I finally snap the picture, and he goes, "Okay, thanks," and he walks out, and it's all blur. It was up, and my son was so mad at me. He's like, "Dad, I get a chance to finally have a picture with Tom Izzo, and you ruined it for me."
So I have a good follow-up story. So that same game, so I dropped my son off at the game, and he went in. I parked the car, came in, and he had his iPad or iPhone, and he said, "Look at this picture," and it was a picture of him and Tom Izzo. I'm like, "Wow, how did you get that?" And I said, "Who took that picture?" And he goes, "That guy." And he pointed at Thad Matta.
Oh, that was
from
when he
Ohio
was there. I
State.
remember he was at that game too. Yeah.
So I said, "I'm sure every time Izzo sees Thad Matta, he's like, 'Remember, you had to take a picture of me.'"
Right. That's funny. So funny. That's my only other claim to fame was we're sitting in a cabana at the Wynn Hotel up on outside, and with my wife, and there's Coach K and his family right in the cabana across from us. And so my wife was like, she couldn't stop looking at him, and finally, and this was the year that he had recruited Tyus Jones.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I thought I'll walk up to him and just say, I've watched Tyus play a lot, and so my wife wanted to come with me, so we walk over there, and first thing she goes, "Are you Coach K?" And he looks at her like, like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Thanks." I said,
That's a good setup.
"Thanks, honey. You really set the table for."
Yeah, right. Never mind. I'll just walk away.
That's right. He goes, I said, "We're from Minnesota." He goes, "I can tell." 58-39, Orioles with the lead.
That was a nice steal by Ellingson there.
Well, there's got to be a foul. As Ewald on top, umbrellaing Standifer. So.
Well, it'll be interesting here with 7 minutes to go. If St. Louis Park can continue to kind of fend off any runs that the Red Knights make, I think they're going to have to start taking a few more risks to get back into this game.
We saw very few fouls in the first half, and now it's becoming a foul-infested game here a little bit. Standifer with his first point of the game. He averages 6.5 on the season. Second one missed. Orioles easily break the press, and now they'll take some time off the clock, I think. Well, no, maybe not. Ewald puts it up and in.
Wow, what a game by Ewald. And again, another great find by Keyshawn.
I love his expression, too, after he hits. He's having fun. It's
what it's all about, right?
5 3-pointers in the game.
Ooh, nice rebound by Ewald. Yeah, I think they're content to move the ball around a little bit here.
Nice move by Rayson.
They used the basket to shield them a little bit.
12 points in the game for Rayson. Orioles with their biggest lead at 23 points. We mentioned playing without Paris Johnson, and
yeah, and Paris Johnson. I mean, I think Paris Johnson's their leading scorer. He's very close to
Anthony Rayson.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with him the other night. I mean, just really fast, but a nice soft touch.
Good hustle by Rayson.
So this team is sneaky good. They got a lot of talent on this team. So it'll be fun. That Chaska game's really going to be interesting, I think.
And you got players that play hard, and I think that's credit to Coach Breitenbucher and what he's done with this team. You don't necessarily have the star power, but you have a lot of guys with great effort that play hard.
Yeah.
Walker Johnson with the basket. Ewald.
Hey, just look at that passing. Houts is trying to get in on the party. He's been pretty quiet tonight.
As you mentioned, Houts usually can hit the threes and just not able to do it. Bowden's not happy with that call. Thought last touch by the Red Knights to see here.
I mean, you just see how, I mean, he's going up against the 6'9", 6'10" guy, and he's the one who's getting down on the ground. Well, I think he's got a point because Dries had his foot out of bounds.
Right. I think that was off of Dries, so.
Should we stop the game and see the replay?
We saw worse plays called in the football game on Sunday, so we'll say that's just a minor.
It's two tough years in a row for New Orleans.
Right. Johnson sets up for the three, misses. Red Knights really have struggled from the floor here in the second half. Good job by Owen so he didn't get trapped, and the Orioles will take a timeout here. Just under 5 minutes.
Coach Breitenbucher just wants to kind of refresh everybody's memory on what to do against the press, and I think that was a good timeout.
There's the Red Knights schedule as we see upcoming games for the Red Knights, and they'll be at Richfield. And then a tough one, I think that may be one we're covering here, the Red Knights against Edina.
Yeah, Edina, I think they're 7th in the state last I checked, or 6th, something
right,
like
and I know they moved up. I think at one point they moved up to number 1 or 2, and then they moved down. And you get a lot of those teams. Hopkins has fluctuated up and down. Prior Lake, I think, is number 1 right now, and they're playing Lakeville North, the number 6 team in the state tonight, and that could have a lot to do with standings. So.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, high school basketball in Minnesota, there's a lot of quality players
there really
in programs.
There really is, and I think this some of the juniors that'll be seniors next year. There's going to be some, interesting, college choices that they'll be making, and a big one for Hurt.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I think there's a lot of people that are kind of waiting to see what he decides to do. It'd be nice to see him in maroon and gold, but I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Right. Orioles not in need of a quick shot here, but they'll, if they get a good one, they'll take it. Racing.
Well, he's got a lot of confidence now on Dries. He's just pivoting his way to nice open looks.
I don't know if Dries has picked up any fouls in this game.
Oh, boy, that was a nice move by Peterson. Just came up a little short.
There he goes, Ewald. Couldn't get that one to go.
Oh, great outlet.
Man, Dries gets the basket and he bangs his knee and he's not happy.
I don't know if that was like a little hyperextension or that was a great outlet pass by Smith. Oh, yeah.
And Dries walks it off, yeah. Good to see. For Dries, that was actually his first points in the second half, coming with 3:57 in the second half. When you talk about him being your leading scorer, he didn't have any shots. He didn't miss shots. He just didn't get any.
Yeah, right.
That was deflected out of bounds. Fortunate for the Orioles because they were trapped in on the sideline.
Yeah, it'd be good to see Ewald kind of try to get to the middle of the court where he's got a few more options.
Ellingson will come into the game.
Ellingson's really given them some good minutes tonight too. Just really tough kid, some nice offensive rebounds.
And able to give Rayson a break. Nine in the game for Keyshawn Howard as he has the basketball. Peel takes it along the baseline. Dries swatted it, didn't get it. Put back not good that time for the Orioles.
Sure who 22 is.
I wonder if that's Jackson McLean from the JV team.
Oh, okay. I think that's the other nice thing about some of these recent victories is that St. Louis Park has been able to play a lot of kids and give them a lot of experience. So that's not only going to help them this year, but also next year.
1 to 2.
Good rebound by Peel. Ewald wanted to shoot another three there.
Yeah, that is Jackson McLean.
So you're just using some clock here.
And McLean is the junior. Kill for Howard. 2:44 remaining. St. Louis Park 66. Red Knights 47. And we're going to get a foul on the Red Knights.
Going to get a chance to put some more points on the board.
$22 points for Ewald. That's got to be his high as a high school player here, as a varsity player. And he's now 4 of 5 from the free throw line.
That's a good night.
He had 8 points in the first half. Well, he's starting to feel it now. And the Orioles are just glad that there isn't that much time left on the clock because
if he starts getting hot, just a little late.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of fouls now. St. Louis Park is in the double bonus. Deontay's Ross also in the game for the St. Louis Park Orioles, number 23.
Well, I think Ewald's done for the night, but what a great evening for him. And hopefully Paris will be back. But it just shows that this team's got more depth than you might think. I mean, without Paris, Houts has a quiet night, and they still are up by about 20.
Nick Peterson with the basket. There's a foul. Tyshawn Lyons, number 5, is in the game. Blake Anderson, number 11.
Peterson for Benilde has really worked hard tonight.
Under 2 minutes.
Well, this is just great experience for these guards to be.
Oh, that was a long pass stolen away. The Red Knights getting the basket there. That's Isaiah Smith. Really only a 14-point game. Stolen again. Orioles may need a timeout here. And the basket. And we're down to a 12-point game. Still 123. That's not over. I think
this is a good test for Coach Brighton Bucher to decide whether he's going to
put the starters back in.
But what I was saying is that it's just such a great opportunity for these young guys to go against these other guys that are, juniors and seniors, and go up against that pressure. So it's really going to help them in the future. Just really impressed, I think, with Anthony Racing. I thought he had a great second half. Just really worked well to get shots around Dries down low. Where I was kind of discouraging that in the first half because Dries was so active, but I think Anthony just kind of wore him down, or was maybe fresher in the second half. But both Keyshawn, Howard, and Ewald had really nice games today.
A lot of pressure put on the Orioles. Got to move the ball. And we're going to foul. That's tough because had they completed that trap for a little bit longer, I think St. Louis Park would have had a backcourt infraction.
Yep. Yeah, it felt like it was getting close.
So Tyshawn Lyons looking for his first point.
Really nice.
You're saying Lyons is a cousin of
Kyrie Mayfield.
Kyrie Mayfield. And
yeah.
Should mention Kyrie Mayfield, one of the stars on the Orioles last season, and having a great year at Bethany, averaging 19.9 points per game. And I was looking at his stats, shooting 50% from the floor almost 39% from 3-point range, and just having an outstanding season.
Yeah, I was able to watch him last week, and just really playing well, you know. And although he's stuffing the stats with points and shooting percentage, I'd be interested to see his assists, because at the game I saw, he was setting up his teammates a lot of drives and kickouts for threes and setting up his big men. So he's really playing well at all levels.
Well, here's, as you mentioned, an interesting decision, and Coach Breitenbucher brought the starters back in the game. And now he's going to bring the reserves back in. So let's, some of them.
Is that a cameo?
Right. I think he's going to keep Ewald in there, maybe just keep a guard.
I think Ewald was just trying to sneak back on the court to get more points.
I think he's telling the starters, just be ready. If it gets under 10 points, I got to get you back in the game. Yeah. That's the wholesale change there. So far, scoring in the game for the Orioles, Cole Ewald with 23 points. Anthony Rayson had 8 in the second half, 6 in the first half for 14. Odens with 10. We had Keyshawn Howard with 9. Eric Peel had 5. A couple points from McLean and Ellingson. Lyons with 1.
Boy, a lot of contributions.
Yeah. Well, almost turned over into the front court. A lot of pressure and a foul. So the first half went really quick. This half has slowed down quite a bit. Lions 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
Well, I just feel like St. Louis Park has been pretty consistent throughout the game. I mean, there were sort of runs back and forth, but they handled the ball well. They were getting open shots. And you know, that's sort of proofs out with how well the scoring has been distributed. Here comes Sam Ruff. Park is in a 2-3 zone now. Oh no, they're still going man-to-man.
3, not good. Red Knights have really struggled from 3-point range, aside from Grease, who hit 5 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Grease with 19 points in the game. Peterson has 12. Carden with 10. Those are the leading scorers for the Red Knights. Walker Johnson with 4. Isaiah Smith has 7. Strew has 4. Samuel Ruff.
We'll see Sam shake that one off and get another one here.
Rebound, Red Knights. Open 3, not good.
Yeah, they've just struggled from the 3-point line.
19 seconds. Or let's just hold it now. 8 seconds.
I think hopefully just never a dull moment. Well, great game by St. Louis Park tonight. Great second half. They just kind of gradually pulled away. And a great game by Cole Ewald. Just some great shots. A lot of offensive rebounds, too. I thought their energy, St. Louis Park's energy with all the offensive rebounds and putbacks in the first half.
You're right. You saw, and you saw players like Anthony Odens coming away with the ball a number of times, and players like Ellingson, who fought in there, and Bauer playing some good defense aside from, you know, Cole Ewald and with his scoring, and, you know, Cole Ewald with best game of his high school career, 23 points. And Keyshawn Howard, you know, you got to give him so much credit on the job that he did against Standifer for the Red Knights. And, you know, Standifer, a very quick player, and you could see when Keyshawn was out of the game, Benilde started making some runs, and you know, Keyshawn such a valuable part of the team for the Orioles, and how he was able to penetrate and use his speed to get inside and then dish out to someone, you know.
Yeah, I think he's one of those players that makes everybody else around him better. I think you're right, that the defense was just solid. I mean, he's so quick, but he did a nice job of setting other people up, and when he got his chances, he was able to finish around the hoop, and he's an important part of this team.
As you are for me, Tom. You did an amazing job tonight, and it's so great having you back to be on the mic with me. So, as you mentioned, a great second half for the Orioles. 41-29 is what they outscored the Red Knights when the score is 31-26 at the end of the half. And a lot of those points, really, game was a little further apart because the Red Knights sort of closed the gap a little bit towards the end when some of the reserves were in there. So.
Right. Yeah, so St. Louis Park 4-0 in the conference now, with Chaska, who's probably also undefeated.
Right, and a 5-game winning streak, too.
Yeah, so I think hopefully we'll get a good crowd out there, and let's see what St. Louis Park can do against Chaska.
All right, Tom. So, again, I want to thank you for helping out. We want to thank our crew and our producer-director. Final score here from Benilde-St. Margaret's, the St. Louis Park Orioles 72, the Red Knights 57. So long.